Hi, so my name is Celeste. I am here with Christina from Saint Unholyness. Um, Now to get started, how did the band come together and what inspired the band's name for those who may be discovering you all for the first time?
The band not really came together back in 2017. It's just emerged from an idea that I had because I was so fed up only playing black metal and limiting myself to black metal only exclusively that I really just I wanted to break out of that black metal box. And back in 2017, that idea emerged, formed over the years until now, and then slowly the songs came together. And so yeah, I already got a bassist. We still are searching for a drummer, so yeah, to be a three-piece later on. And yeah, that's basically the way the band emerged or came together in some parts. Excuse me, I'm from Germany. My English may not be the best. And speaking of my band's name, Saint and Holiness, it's just really only a wordplay because in nowadays world where everybody is telling you be authentic, be yourself, but not like that. You always get told to be yourself, but if you do the act of being yourself, you get ridiculed and you get taken down. So I'm, in my opinion, a little saint and holiness because I am a villain to some, I am a hero to some, and I really do not fucking care. And this is sort of saying the wordplay for this kind of state of situation where I'm in my life to just do your thing and do not give a shit if you have some haters or if you have some guys or people who love you. Just be you, just do you. That is what the band Saint and Holiness means.
I think that's really clever, especially with having like a bit of that wordplay in there. Now, speaking of kind of breaking out from that black metal box into doing something more related to Doom, how would you particularly describe your sound to someone maybe a bit more unfamiliar with the genre related to your band? Let's say there's someone who is also like branching out to other genres to listen to.
I always described Saint and Holiness as the mixed salad of metal.
Okay.
So with Saint and Holiness, of course, you we still have the black metal because it is my roots. But you also got the blues and you also got the stoner doom and maybe for the next albums some jazz, some reggae. It's really just I just let it flow. And so I always say to someone completely new to my music, just let it flow. And yeah, it's basically like a really heavy mixed salad of heavy fucking metal.
Yeah, you can definitely hear like bits and pieces of different genres in there. Especially I can definitely hear like different roots, especially even with your black metal roots, I hear it a little bit in some songs, which I mean, I think it's a really good blend, especially as someone who listens
Thank you
to
so
like
much.
a
You know,
different mixture.
it really comes naturally. Years ago, when I was playing exclusively black metal, I also had these little breakouts into blues or into stoner doom, but I always cutted it because it didn't fit the black metal project I had, and this really pissed me off because the riffs I created, stemming from CC Top or stemming from BB King or Electric Wizards or Sleep, if you wanna might go more into these stoner doomish territory. And I always had such an inner drive to create something new where I really can have my own playground and not just having black metal as the as the frame sort of thing, because I really like to respect black metal a lot,
Mhm.
and you definitely cannot combine reggae and black metal. Well, you could, but yeah, it's blasphemy within blasphemy.
Yeah, for sure. Now can you tell us a bit about the story behind your latest release, through High Holy Haze?
I can definitely. um, the phrase "through high holy through difficult wording through high holy haze" is basically coming from my childhood when I was 6 years old. Back then, I was born 1990 in Germany, in Lower Bavaria. It's basically like the Bible Belt in Germany. And we had, as when I was 6 years old in the elementary school, a handicraft teacher, and these were Catholic nuns. And one of the nun completely hated me because I didn't act like a normal boy would do. Yeah, to spin things a little around, I knew pretty early on that I wasn't a boy, that I always had been a girl. And so I always had longer hair, I act pretty feminine, and this little bitch really did 2 years of eternal harm to myself. She wanted to know what's in my pants. She, yeah, sexually abused me for 2 long years. And, you know, I grew up in a Christian family. I grew up in a very Christian Catholic country. And this high holy haze, that God is good. And yeah, there's heaven and hell and all this bullshit completely fell apart when I was 6 years old. And I was able to see through the high holy haze where much young children or people are indoctrinated with that there's a loving sky daddy up in the heavens, who protects his sheeps. It's all bullshit. And so the title track or the album title, True High Holy Haze, came to my mind as a statement, basically. And in the lyrics from the songs, it's basically going around the personality of Lucifer, but not as a villain, just as a light bringer to enable the people. Hey, wait a minute, let's pause for a second. Um, I've been indoctrinated too, or when did I consciously chose to be a follower of that religion? To sort of saying, create a little awareness, in my own bad English words.
Yeah, no, I get it. I feel like that's a very strong story, especially and it is relatable in a way because some people they do go through like they live in areas like that or they grow up in an environment where they do go through and see past that stuff. Especially I can even relate to that myself. I've had that when I was younger. A lot different, obviously, but still seeing past what I was around. So um, now a bit more interesting question. Now, as far as your personal life, how, especially with since you work as well, how does it influence your songwriting and themes and even like balancing that? Um,
Hmm. If I stretch far back when I only played black metal, I of course was full of hate and rage because of what happened to me in my early childhood. Um, but I felt hate really just eats up the hater. I felt a little bit that constantly chewing this old gum of hatred is not really bringing me to a point where I have finally feeling peace in my little own four walls. So I thought, okay, maybe mix it up a little bit, but also having a band that is able to create a brutal sound. And then having kind of saying like this Saint and Holiness, good and evil mixed together, like having some songs where about sunflowers or pretty ordinary bullshit, and of course have songs that are socially social criticism or even back in my past about religion and how it manipulates people to have in Germany we say zweigleisig fahren, to have basically a train that goes in both directions. Like you have two tracks, and then you can have basically one thing in two things in one thing. Basically, that's what shaped my approach to songwriting and especially lyrics from the last years. I hope I answered your question
you
properly.
did, yeah, you definitely did.
Okay.
Um, Now, what are some of your biggest musical influences and how they shaped your band sound? Which I'm interested to hear because I actually know some of your influences, especially one of your songs.
I cannot undress myself right now, but I have Dimebag Darrell from Pantera tattooed here. Zach Wild. This is for the guitar playing and shred your head off stuff. Of course, bands stemming from the past, black metal, Gorgoroth, Urgihal, um, Mayhem, you name it. And then there's also bands like ZZ Top when we go into bluesish territory. BB King, of course. Joe Bonamassa, I really dig him. Um, and I really like the old classics like Black Sabbath, Motorhead, of course, Megadeth, Metallica. It all started off with Metallica because I was hearing as a child when I was 8 or 10 years old. I cannot remember exactly. I was listening to some radio, and then there was a Master of Puppets of Metallica, and the sound, the drums, the guitars, and of course the vocals filled with rage. Um, had been a complete translation to what I felt inside of me. And I really digged it. And I was thinking to myself, I want to be able to do this my own. I want to be able to create or to sing my own story when I create my own songs. And this was the initial ignition sort of saying where it all started, thanks to Metallica.
Yeah, I think it's great because especially now you're like able to reflect on that. Like, oh, I started from here when I was so young to now doing what
Yeah.
you always wanted to do.
Yeah, and not just only hating like in the black metal, this is shit and this is evil and fuck this and fuck that. Just really providing a little solution, maybe, because there, of course, there will be people who are abused or make been through difficult times or difficult stories, and maybe my music can help a little bit.
Mhm.
That's what I think
Yeah.
or hope.
Yeah. Now, going back to more about your band, now what does a typical writing or a recording session look like for Saint Unholiness?
It's a little bit funny because all the songs I did all alone on myself. My bassist is learning the songs right now, and I have created, written, recorded everything on my own. And usually, if I start to write a song intentionally, it never happens intentionally. It always strikes me maybe 3 a.m. in the morning. I got a melody in my head, or I got a phrase, a line in my head, and I have immediately to write it down. Or, and this is the funny part, um, when I'm sitting on the toilet and it is a little longer sitting, I have my guitar with me and then I write my best shit. Without no joke. It's really, yeah, I mean it. And that's usually how I write my stuff. And then I take my phone. Nobody have to be able to have my phone because you will see me at the toilet. And I record basically what I jam along on the guitar with me. And later on, when I decide to go into the studio, I swipe through my phone. I watch the videos and I listen to the riffs I did, and then I kind of play a little bit puzzle or kind of lining up the rolling stock from a train. And yeah, go by what can be good for the next riff to follow up, and then so and so I build my songs.
Okay, that's really interesting, especially how
That's
you
pretty
get the
unique, I
inspiration
guess.
sometimes.
And I cannot read sheet music. I'm a total music theory noob. I cannot read music. I'm a total. Often I do not know what I'm doing on the instrument. It's just yeah.
Now, are there any particular themes or messages that you want listeners to take away from your music, whether it's stuff that you have now or stuff that you plan in the future, just in general?
Be yourself. Be your own voice instead of an echo.
I like that a lot. I think it's a really good statement too, especially just from the change in music that you're doing and stuff like that. It's really showing like, hey, like you can do whatever and be yourself and just do what you love the most.
That's
So,
what basically metal or rock and roll is for me, to be my true self. I'm not designed to die as a copy. I was born an original, and so are you, and so are the listeners. And
mm,
when I see today in the metal scene, everybody is following the unwritten rules. Bullshit. Fuck the rules. Create your own rules. Do not fuck with anybody. Fuck up nobody. Just, yeah, enjoy life, play music, live it loud.
okay. Now, as far as I guess the German metal scene, how has that shaped, I guess more so like the growth of your music? Because I know your band is fairly, this band in particular is fairly newer.
Yeah, well, before this band, I was playing in a death grind band from 2015 to 2020. I'm not really much the biggest grindcore person, but I thought, okay, maybe you can expand your comfort zone a little bit, maybe learn a little bit new from unexpected things. And I kind of met the German scene a little more, the I'm not wanting to say the international scene, but the broader German scene as a whole country, you know. And to be honest, I really learned that there's a lot of envy. There's a lot of kind of going with your elbows out a
Hmm.
little bit. That's what I really learned. Sadly, but there's also some raw diamonds in it. I can say that in the other town where I live, because I'm really in a rural area, in the other town where I live, there's a little punk band which mixes metal, Judas Priesty stuff, metal with punk. It's a pretty cool mixture. They are completely supportive. They have nothing to prove. They have nothing to lose. And I really think I can be wrong because who I am to judge. But I really think from my heart that a lot of other people who are so envious or judgmental kind of trying to have something to lose or have to prove something. And this is what I really think honestly about the German metal scene in special. But you cannot say that I'm right or wrong. It's just my assumption.
Yeah. No, I think it's interesting, especially because when I've spoken with other bands from different regions, and it could be because maybe they're smaller technically in comparison, where they said that there are more supportive people and stuff like that in their region. So I could definitely see like the differences as far as like you've said, seeing the smaller punk band comparison to maybe the more broader aspect. Because there's definitely parts here, where I am in the US, definitely, where it's a mixture of that depending on the area you're in and stuff like that. So it's really interesting to hear um the different aspect of it, especially mentioning the envy nature that some scenes do
Well,
have.
I actually do not really know, to be honest, because I'm a transsexual woman, you know, I'm transgender, and maybe there's some bias. It could be. I do not know. Maybe if I would be a regular dude playing just metal, I do not really know. So yeah, who am I to judge?
Yeah, yeah. Keep having that open mind, but also understanding like
Yeah.
I guess perspectives in a sense.
You know, I handle it this way. If I would or I would become with my band a little bigger, I definitely wanted to support others.
Yeah.
Because you know, support creates support. If I close my doors to anybody, they shut the doors too.
Yeah, and I feel like the more supportive ones to me are at least more memorable. Like I've met other local bands that talk about how like they've been supportive and stuff like that, and I feel like they're
Yeah,
definitely more ones you want to listen
what do
to.
they have to lose basically? You know, if I support anyone else, what do I lose? Nothing. I gain.
Exactly. Um, Now as far as future plans go, what are some plans that your band has, as far as possibly new releases, touring, or even collaborations go?
Great Christian. Um, we plan first to find a drummer. He hasn't or she hasn't to be the most technically skilled drummer. It's just important to us that the personality, the chemistry is working. And then, of course, yeah, have some gigs, have maybe some tours. Right now, we are pretty, yeah, on a busy schedule because, yeah, my father passed away last year. He had a house which is a little ruin, and we have to empty the house. So last weekend we emptied 3 generations because it's a free what's the English word for free floor house?
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
And on these 3 floors, we had really stuff from back from the third generation from my grandparents. And yeah, if that one is over, we have a little bit more air to breathe, and then we will definitely look out to get some merch, to get some physical copies of our stuff, and then do the live playing. That's definitely our future plans we have.
That's awesome. Now, for a final question, I feel like we kind of sprinkled it throughout our conversation, but if you wanted to give something more concrete, you're more than welcome to. Now, what is some advice you would like to give to more emerging bands who want to make their mark in the scene in general? I'm not going to be specific with genre, just in general.
Be your authentic self. Follow your heart, follow your gut instinct, basically, and really do your own thing. You can adapt or not adapt, adopt is the word. Things from people you like me, the playing style of Zack Wild, or the shin guards from Gogorov, the spiky things. You can really try to put together your own thing, and since years I had a little bit fear to be then shunned because of this, because I'm not really following the unwritten rules. But I think if you really unfollow these rules, you can create really music or style, especially if you are a band that is going to make it, that will leave a mark because it is then your fingerprint. Nobody can kind of recreate or copy because of course, you will have copycats, but those copycats will discover pretty soon that it isn't their thing to be dressed like you are dressed or to be wearing this kind of makeup or corpse painting or whatever. Just really go to your heart and listen to your gut instinct and really do what you like, what you're feeling comfortable in. Just basically what I'm doing now with my band set and Unholyness.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much, Christina. It's been very nice
Thank you so
speaking
much,
with
Celeste,
you.
for having me.
Thank you. And I definitely wish you and your band good luck in your future endeavors.
Thank you so much. And also to you with your interview channel, doing a great work. You rock.
Thank you.